At 37,000 feet over the Rocky Mountains, with both engines humming and the cabin lights dimmed for the night, a voice came over the intercom that froze 214 souls in place. Can anyone on board fly this plane? For 7 terrifying seconds, nobody moved. No one understood if it was a joke. No one laughed. Because in the cockpit of Flight 728, something had gone terribly wrong. And in Seat 7C, a sleeping woman was about to wake up into a nightmare that would change aviation forever. But what nobody knew was that she had a secret even the captain couldn't have imagined. And in less than 12 minutes, that secret would become the only thing standing between life and disaster. Flight Pacifica Air 728, Airline Pacifica Air, Aircraft, Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Route Seattle to Denver. Date October 14, 2025. Weather, clear skies over Seattle, but severe turbulence forecast over the Rockies. Crew, Captain Daniel Reeves, 52. First Officer Mike Larson, 34. 8 cabin crew. Passengers, 214. It was supposed to be routine. A short evening hop. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Nothing unusual. Families settled in. Business travelers opened laptops. A baby cried in row 19. And in Seat 7C, a woman named Elena Carter rested against the window. Quiet, unnoticed, headphones on, sleeping. To everyone on board, she was just another passenger. But Elena had once flown military cargo missions. Years ago, before disappearing from aviation. And tonight, that forgotten past was about to return. 3 main story. Scene 1, boarding the ordinary. Narration. The terminal buzzed with normalcy. Coffee cups. Rolling luggage. Final boarding calls. Captain Reeves smiled at passengers. Everything looked perfect. Pilot dialogue. Captain Reeves. Weather's a little rough over the Rockies, nothing major. First Officer Larson. Easy night. Passenger reactions. Passengers joked. Kids fought over window seats. Elena barely spoke. Technical explanation. Pre-flight systems showed normal. No faults. Fuel balanced. Navigation clear. But hidden deep inside the hydraulic backup system, a pressure valve had begun degrading. No one knew. Suspense ending. And it was already failing. Scene 2, into the night. Narration. Pushback. Taxi. Runway lights glowing. The Dreamliner rolled. Then surged. Pilot dialogue. Tower. Pacifica 728, cleared for takeoff. Captain Reeves. Cleared. ATC dialogue. ATC. Winds calm. Passenger reactions. Seatbacks pressed. Engines roared. Elena slept through takeoff. Technical explanation. Takeoff was flawless. Gear up. Climb power. Autopilot engaged. Suspense ending. Until the first warning blinked. Scene 3, the first alert. Narration. At 19,000 feet. Ding. Yellow light. Hydraulic pressure low. Pilot dialogue. Larson. That's odd. Reeves. Secondary pump only. ATC dialogue. None. Passenger reactions. Nobody noticed. Technical explanation. Hydraulics control flaps, brakes, and steering. A backup system should compensate. But theirs was. Suspense ending. And it was getting worse. Scene 4, turbulence wall. Narration. Over Wyoming. They hit it. Violent turbulence. The plane dropped 400 feet. Coffee flew. Passengers screamed. Alina woke instantly. Pilot dialogue. Captain. Hold her. Larson. Stabilizing. ATC dialogue. ATC. Pacifica 728, report status. Passenger reactions. Panic spread. Oxygen masks nearly dropped. Technical explanation. Turbulence stressed already weakened hydraulic lines. That was the trigger. Suspense ending. Then the cockpit door opened. Scene 5, collapse. Narration. A flight attendant rushed in. Captain Reeves clutched his chest. Sweating. Barely breathing. Pilot dialogue. Reeves. I call. And he collapsed. Passenger reactions. Crew froze. Technical explanation. Heart attack. Complete incapacitation. Suspense ending. Larson was now alone. Scene 6, double failure. Narration. Then fate struck harder. Larson reached for controls and suddenly blacked out. A violent hit to the head from unsecured equipment. 2 pilots down. Pilot dialogue. Silence. Passenger reactions. Cabin crew screamed. Technical explanation. Autopilot held course, but only temporarily. Suspense ending. Then the intercom clicked. Scene 7, the announcement. Narration. The senior flight attendant made the call. Voice trembling. Pilot dialogue. None. Cabin announcement. Can anyone on board fly this plane? The cabin froze. Passenger reactions. Confusion. Terror. Crying. Suspense ending. Seat 7C unbuckled. Scene 8, Alina stands. Narration. Alina walked calmly. Eyes sharp. No panic. Dialogue. Alina. I flew C-17s, 10 years. Passenger reactions. Shock. Technical explanation. A Boeing C-17 Globemaster III is far different from a 787. But flight principles remain. Suspense ending. Would it be enough? Scene 9, entering the cockpit. Narration. Captain unconscious. First officer bleeding. Warnings everywhere. Fuel imbalance. Hydraulic caution. Terrain ahead. Pilot dialogue. Alina. Wake him up. No response. Technical explanation. Autopilot still engaged, but descent profile unstable. Suspense ending. Then autopilot disconnected. Beep, beep, beep. Scene 10, hand flying. Narration. The aircraft rolled left. Hard. Alina grabbed the yoke. Pilot dialogue. Alina. Come on. ATC dialogue. ATC Denver. Pacifica 728, you're deviating. Technical explanation. Without hydraulic assist, controls felt heavier. Sluggish. Dangerous. Suspense ending. And mountains were ahead. Scene 11, Mayday. Pilot dialogue. Alina. Mayday, Mayday, Pacifica 728, both pilots incapacitated. Passenger at controls. Silence. Then. ATC dialogue. Say again. Narration. The room in Denver Center erupted. Technical explanation. Controllers now had to guide an unqualified pilot. Suspense ending. Fuel was running low. Scene 12, The Impossible Vector. Narration. ATC turned her toward Denver. Closest runway. ATC dialogue. Maintain heading 110. Descend to 12,000. Pilot dialogue. Elena. Copy. Hands shaking. Passenger reactions. Prayers. Crying. Phones recording. Suspense ending. Then smoke appeared. Scene 13, Electrical fire. Narration. An overheated panel sparked. Smoke in cockpit. Visibility dropping. Technical explanation. Hydraulic fluid leaked into hot electrical systems. Fire risk. Suspense ending. Time was gone. Scene 14, The descent. Narration. The Dreamliner screamed downward. Overspeed warnings. Cabin shaking. ATC dialogue. Reduce speed. Pilot dialogue. I'm trying. Passenger reactions. People held hands. Believed this was it. Suspense ending. Landing gear failed to deploy. Scene 15, Manual extension. Narration. Elena found emergency gear release. Pulled. Nothing. Pulled again. Clunk. Gear locked. Barely. Technical explanation. Gravity drop backup. Last resort. Suspense ending. But brakes might not work. Scene 16, Final approach. Narration. Runway lights ahead. One chance. Crosswinds rising. Smoke thick. ATC dialogue. You're lined up, keep descending. Pilot dialogue. Speed 170. Passenger reactions. Absolute silence. Suspense ending. Too fast. Scene 17, Touchdown. Narration. The plane slammed down. Hard. Bounced. Left gear skidded. Sparks everywhere. No brakes. Elena steered with raw force. The jet screamed down runway 34R. Then stopped. Passenger reactions. Silence. Then screaming. Alive. Scene 18, Rescue. Narration. Fire crews stormed the aircraft. Captain Reeves revived. Larson survived. 3 passengers injured. No fatalities. Suspense ending. But investigators found something impossible. Scene 19, Black box. Narration. The cockpit voice recorder revealed something. The hydraulic warning had started before takeoff. Maintenance missed it. Technical explanation. A microfracture in a pressure line caused the cascade. Tiny flaw. Massive consequence. Suspense ending. But Elena's role shocked everyone. Scene 20, Final truth. Narration. Elena Carter had once been one of the Air Force's best emergency landing specialists. She had left after a classified mission ended in tragedy. She never flew again. Until tonight. And tonight, she saved 214 lives. Scene 21, The woman who disappeared. Narration. 3 days after the emergency landing in Denver, news channels everywhere were calling her one thing: the passenger who saved Flight 728. But nobody could find Elena Carter. No interviews. No social media. No family statements. Nothing. It was as if she vanished the moment she walked off that plane. But deep inside the National Transportation Safety Board, investigators were asking a different question. Not how she landed the plane, but why she knew things no civilian pilot should know. Because during the cockpit recording, Elena had used military emergency codes. codes not used in commercial aviation. And one phrase stood out. One phrase that made federal agents freeze. Execute Raven Protocol. A protocol that technically didn't exist. Suspense ending. So who exactly was Elena Carter? Scene 22, The Black File. Narration. In a secure office in Washington, government analysts opened a sealed file. Stamped. Classified. Inside. Elena Carter, former U.S. Air Force pilot. Flight hours, 4,300. Combat certified. Special operations transport. But one line was blacked out. Operation Venom. No explanation. No details. Only one note. Survivor, never cleared for return to active flight. Technical explanation. In military aviation, pilots can be grounded after psychological trauma. But Elena had never been grounded. She had disappeared voluntarily. Suspense ending. And Operation Venom had been buried for 10 years. Until now. Scene 23, The Message. Narration. That same night, Elena sat alone in a motel outside Denver, watching the news, hands shaking. She hadn't touched a cockpit in a decade. But then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. One text. You should never have said Raven Protocol. Her blood ran cold, because only 5 people alive knew that phrase. And 3 of them were supposed to be dead. Suspense ending. Someone from Venom was watching. Scene 24, The Investigator. Narration. Lead NTSB, investigator Marcus Hale, wasn't convinced. He replayed the cockpit audio. Again. And again. Something felt wrong. At minute 47, right before Captain Reeves collapsed, a faint sound. Not turbulence. Not machinery. A click. Mechanical. Intentional. Technical explanation. The cockpit voice recorder captures every sound, even tiny switch movements. And this one didn't belong. Suspense ending. Someone had tampered with the aircraft. Scene 25, Captain Reeves wakes. Narration. At Denver General Hospital, Captain Reeves finally regained consciousness. Weak. Confused. But when Hale asked about Elena, Reeves stared in disbelief. Dialogue. Reeves. That's impossible. Hale. What? Reeves. I know her. 10 years earlier. They flew together. Operation Venom. The mission that killed everyone. Or so he thought. Suspense ending. Reeves had believed Elena was dead. Scene 26, The Truth About Venom. Narration. Middle East airspace. A military cargo plane under attack. Captain Reeves. Co-pilot Elena Carter. Mission code Venom. They were transporting something top secret. Something worth killing for. Missile lock. Hydraulics gone. Fire on board. Elena landed the aircraft in enemy territory. Saved 19 soldiers. Then disappeared. Officially listed. Missing in action. But she had escaped. Alone. And never came back. Suspense ending. Because she took something with her. Scene 27, The Cargo. Narration. Back in present day. Federal agents searched Elena's motel room. Empty. Gone. But under the bed. A metal case. Inside. Old flight maps. Encrypted coordinates. And one strange object. A black military flight recorder. Not from Flight 728. From Venom. Technical explanation. Military black boxes are often classified for decades. This one was never recovered. Until now. Suspense ending. And someone wanted it back. Scene 28, The Chase. Narration. Elena drove west through the mountains. Rain pouring. Headlights behind her. Black SUVs. Closing fast. She knew who they were. The same men from 10 years ago. The men who caused Venom. And now, they knew she was alive. Suspense ending. This was never about the emergency landing. It was about what she remembered. Scene 29, The Recording. Narration. Marcus Hale played the Venom black box. Static. Explosions. Then voices. One name. Repeated. Project Atlas. A secret aviation weapons program. Illegal. Unreported. And somehow connected to Pacifica Flight 728. Technical explanation. Evidence suggested Flight 728's hydraulic failure wasn't random. It was sabotage. To force Elena out. Suspense ending. They wanted her back in the cockpit. Scene 30, The Real Question. Narration. As dawn broke over the Rockies, Elena stood at an abandoned airstrip. A helicopter descended. Unmarked. Doors opened. Inside, a man she thought was dead. Colonel Victor Kane, commander of Operation Venom. Dialogue. Kane, you did well, Elena. Elena, you tried to kill 214 people. Kane, no, we were testing you. She stared. Frozen, the helicopter blades thundered against the empty mountain airstrip. Elena stood frozen, rain soaking her jacket. Across from her, Colonel Victor Kane, a man officially dead for 10 years. A ghost, but very real, very alive, and smiling. Dialogue. Elena. Phase 1 of what? Kane stepped closer. Calm. Cold. Like none of this mattered. Dialogue. Kane. Project Atlas. That name again. The same name from the black box. The same secret buried in Venom. The same secret that nearly killed everyone aboard Flight 728. Suspense ending. But this time, Elena wanted answers. Scene 32, Project Atlas. Narration. Kane revealed everything. Project Atlas was never a weapons program. It was something far bigger. An AI-controlled autonomous flight defense network, designed to take over any aircraft in crisis. Military. Commercial. Anything. Its purpose: prevent hijackings, prevent crashes, remove human error. But 10 years ago, Venom was the first live test. And it failed. Badly. Elena had overridden the AI manually, humiliating the program. Technical explanation. Atlas could remotely access aircraft systems through hidden firmware layers. Hydraulics, autopilot, navigation, even cockpit locks. Dialogue. Kane. Flight 728 was another test. Elena's eyes widened. Dialogue. Elena, you caused the hydraulic failure. Kane nodded. Suspense ending. And he wasn't sorry. Scene 33, The Bigger Plan. Narration. Back in Denver, investigator Marcus Hale connected everything. The switch click. The hydraulic anomaly. The hidden signal logs. Atlas had remotely touched Flight 728. And if Atlas could access one plane, it could access thousands. At airports, in the sky, anywhere. Technical explanation. Modern aircraft use digital fly-by-wire systems. If compromised, control can be hijacked. Globally, suspense ending. And Atlas was going live in 6 hours. Scene 34, The Escape. Narration. Kane offered Alina a choice. Join him, or disappear for good. But Alina knew the truth. Kane didn't need her. He needed her silence. Suddenly, she moved. Vast. She grabbed a flare gun from the supply crate. Fired. The helicopter cockpit exploded in red fire and smoke. Chaos. Gunfire. Alina ran into the storm. Suspense ending. But Kane was right behind her. Scene 35, The Last Flight. Narration. At the edge of the airstrip sat an old cargo plane. A retired Lockheed C-130 Hercules. Fueled. Ready. Alina climbed in. Started engines. The old beast roared to life. Kane's men opened fire. Bullets tore metal. But Alina lifted off. Barely. One final flight. Technical explanation. Unlike modern jets, the C-130 systems were largely analog. Atlas couldn't control it. That made it the perfect weapon against Atlas. Suspense ending. And Alina had one target. Scene 36, The Atlas Core. Narration. Marcus discovered Atlas Command Center, hidden beneath an abandoned radar station outside Cheyenne. Alina was already heading there. Flying low. No radar. No lights. Storm all around. Inside the cargo bay. The Venom black box. Proof. Evidence. The key. ATC dialogue. Hail secure military frequency. Alina, listen to me. Atlas activates in 20 minutes. Dialogue. Alina. Then we end it. Suspense ending. But Atlas had locked on to her. Scene 37, The System Fights Back. Narration. Every screen in the C-130 flashed. Unknown signal. Autopilot engaged. Atlas was trying to take control. Impossible. But it found a way through navigation systems. The yoke fought her. Hard. Violently. Technical explanation. Even analog aircraft still carry digital navigation links. Atlas exploited them. Dialogue. Alina. Not this time. She ripped the navigation breaker. Dead. Manual only. Suspense ending. Now she had one shot. No second chances. Scene 38, Collision Course. Narration. Below. The radar station. Atlas core. Massive antennas spinning. Kane's helicopter arrived beside her. He matched speed. Window to window. Face to face. Dialogue. Kane. You destroy Atlas, the skis go blind. Dialogue. Alina. No, they become human again. She shoved the throttle forward. Maximum power. Straight toward the station. Suspense ending. Impact in 30 seconds. Scene 39, Sacrifice. Narration. At the last second, Alina jumped. Parachute deployed. Behind her, the C-130 slammed into the Atlas core. A blinding explosion. Fire across the mountain. Signals died instantly. Across America, hundreds of hidden Atlas connections vanished. Gone. Forever. Kane's helicopter spiraled into darkness. No survivors. Suspense ending. Or so they thought. Scene 40, the final truth. Narration. 6 months later. The government denied Atlas existed. Officially, Flight 728 was ruled mechanical failure, pilot incapacitation, passenger intervention. Case closed. But Marcus Hale knew better. Captain Reeves knew better. And Alina disappeared again. No medals, no interviews, no records, only rumors that somewhere, when planes fly into impossible danger, a quiet woman watches from the shadows, waiting, because sometimes heroes don't stay heroes. Sometimes they become legends, and legends never really land. Ending of the 214 passengers aboard Pacifica 728. All survived. Captain Reeves lived quietly in retirement. First Officer Larson returned to flying. Marcus Hale resigned from the NTSB. And Alina Carter, gone, but on the cockpit recorder of Flight 728. Investigators found her final whisper before touchdown. Not today. And for the people on that plane, those 2 words meant everything. The end.